Do you want to learn why my brother had a baby Hitler mustache baby and learn how to make 50 grams of protein in a serving? Watch this video, you'll find out both. Trying to make fire happen. There it is. Whoop. All right, I'm gonna throw this on here. Actually, I lied. We need to find out how much this weighs. Boom. This weighs 900 grams. Remember that number. That'll make things easier when we're going to portion it out later. I'm going to take my clean hands. I think I washed them. And pull out 150 grams of this. Throw it on here. I already have some water that I just heated up in the tea kettle. This sometimes works. Makes it a little faster. You can add seasoning at this point. I guess we're making soup, so I'm going to add a little extra water. Oh shoot, we have broth. All right, well, too much water. Whatever, it'll cook off. We'll figure the fudge out. Dad taught me a song. It goes, milk, milk, lemonade, around the corner fudge is made. Let that sink in. Thanks, Dad. I should get that quote tattooed on me. I'm gonna add some seasoning, carefully measured out. Really just, this is garlic and herb. I don't know, we're just kind of throwing everything together here. I have soy sauce. We're at an Airbnb, so somebody left this behind. Let me make sure there's no like fish or nothing in it. Nope. Fructose powder though. Interesting. Well, it's vegan, so it's going in. Salt. Somebody busted this. People clearly don't know how to use stuff. Whatever. It'll still work. I think now would be a fair time to go ahead and add the mushrooms. They feel kind of big. Maybe that's just how they're frozen. That's what she said. Doesn't really smell very good. Whatever. We're just gonna go ahead and throw it in. Seaweed. This stuff's really healthy for you. Good source of iodine. You're probably already getting iodine from things like iodized salt. But if for some reason you're weird and you don't eat iodized salt, you could start eating iodized salt. Or you could do seaweed. Also has a little bit of protein, a little bit of fiber, and it's gonna add that nice kind of fishy flavor to this. I'll just take it, rip it in half. I guess I could talk about like actually like the nutrition of this somewhat. I mean, this is a super easy meal. Super. It's soup. It's supposed to be soup. Last time I tried to do this, I didn't put enough water, so it wasn't really soup. But the say grace is the protein source here. And the way I kind of pretend is, I pretend it's almost like noodles, because they are protein, but they are protein. They're high. The say grace is high in protein, but the shreds kind of feel like noodles. Now, this is always a gamble. When you're like at the Airbnb and you're like, I wonder if whoever was here last time actually cleaned this, or did they just kind of wipe it because they're being lazy knowing they're not coming back? I'm going to wash it just in case. And we're back. Haha. It's still frozen, so we're going to mix it in. Well, we're going to try to like keep the heat real high right now and cook off as much of this water as possible so that I can add my broth and actually make a soup out of this. You know, back when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, they had this thing in school where they would publicly recognize you, almost kind of like a wanted mugshot type thing. But if you're like a really good kid, they'd give you a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup and they'd say you're a super kid. By fourth grade, I turned into a little shit and I never got a super kid again. But kindergarten, first, second, and third, I was always on the little wall next to the other super kids. Just think about that though. Have a first grader. You're a great role model, son. We really like you, so we're gonna cut up this chicken, kill it, put it in a can, and hand it to you and smile. I didn't get it back then, but I get it now. It's a little weird. People are weird. Anyways, super kid. The say grace is gonna cover the protein, and it's kind of like noodles. The mushrooms, not the psychedelic kind, so not quite as fun, but they're, I guess, healthy. I don't know, mushrooms are healthy. They got potassium. Kind of look on here. Yeah, they got a little bit of iron. So all you people that think you need to kill cows and eat meat from cows to get iron, don't have to. I'm really in like my sarcastic, cynical phase right now, I guess. Anywho, the miso broth, I don't know if there's really, I'm thinking of something right now. I think it might have been Austin Powers. Like, somebody's like, miso horny. I don't know, but somebody, leave it in the comments if you're still watching. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but if you are, let's see how this tastes. I don't even know how it tastes. I've never tried it before, but it's miso broth, some soy sauce, ginger, vegetable puree. It's actually pretty good. It does have some ginger in there. There's a little kick at the end. Good. All right, well, this will be yummy. Probably gonna give this like another 5 minutes and we'll add the broth and I'll see you then. I thought of something else, actually. This is kind of funny. Back to elementary school. I don't know why that's popping up. I got to play John F. Kennedy. Believe it or not. Man, I need to dig and ask my mom if she has photos of this. Maybe in a yearbook somewhere or something. But I got to dress up like John F. Kennedy. That was before we had a crazy Kennedy in the White House. I don't know which way you lead politically, but I just put it out there. And so I learned that he served in World War II. He was on one of the U-boats. If you don't know what that is, Google is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. He actually saw combat. He rescued people. I think he got some sort of medal. And he also became president of the United States and got shot in the head. But up until then, he was considered a pretty good president. I guess still considered a good president after that. All of that to say, my brother did not pull John F. Kennedy out of the hat. I did. My brother pulled Martin Luther King Jr. out of the hat. And you might be saying, okay, cool. Get on with the story. We didn't need to hear all that. It's worth it, though. So my mom, in her infinite wisdom, decided, well, I'm John, my brother's Joel. Not the bodybuilding vegan, Joel, little child. Your skin is a little too white to be Martin Luther King Jr. So we're going to go to this wonderful company called Crayola that make washable markers. We're going to get a brown one, and we're going to try and paint your face brown. And she sent my brother to school in blackface. In the best-hearted way possible. I mean, we all love Martin Luther King Jr. in this family, but my mom did not have the foresight to realize that it might look like, and now we're adding the miso broth because we are going to do something with the soup. It did not realize that it might be like a major faux pas, I think that's the word you're looking for, to send a white child to school with an artificially painted on brown erasable marker face. This brings me to another story. You guys are just getting family history while we make this miso say grace soup. So my brother was given, and I think he was in middle school, I was in high school. That tracks, that sounds about right. And he was given a baby, not a real baby, a little baby doll toy, and was supposed to take care of this thing for a whole week to prove that he had integrity and was responsible. And you know, you'd have to take the baby to school with him. Like, you gotta carry extra stuff and not lose the baby. Maybe not give it brain damage, even though it's a toy. You know, those types of things. But me, in my infinite wisdom, I went to the Sharpie company and got a black Sharpie and found a little baby when my brother wasn't looking. I think he went to go play or something. And I drew a little Hitler mustache on there. And the school board administration did not find it so funny. I thought it was hilarious. I think I did it like right before he left for school, so he didn't find out until he was there. I got in trouble. I was in high school. I worked. So my mom told me it was a $75 doll that I had to use my money while working at Publix to go buy another one so that the baby didn't have... They tried to scrub it off, but you can't take a baby Hitler mustache and Sharpie off of a baby toy. So the soup's almost done. I don't know what to talk about in these anymore, but you can hear my life story. So I guess that's about what we got for you today. Oh yeah, we were looking at it, and there's not a whole lot of fat in this meal. I guess I could add some olive oil or something, but I think what I'm going to do, this might be like a bastardization of miso soup, but I'm going to add hummus on top. Get some fats out of this. There's a little bit of protein in here, 2 grams, but I'm more so going for the fat. Alex says, do I want to talk about why it's important to include fat? No, I want to talk about drawing Hitler mustaches on baby children. Of course. Real children, no. Anyways, dietary fats play into our, they're going to listen to me now after all of that. Dietary fats play into, for both men and women, our hormonal functions. They do slow down the digestion of other foods, so it can be good. If you eat a lot of carbs at once and you're like, oh no, the glycemic index, I'm eating white bread, I'm going to die. Well, add some fats and it slows down the digestion of those carbs. Fats usually contain other things like ALA for your omegas. They just help your body. They help with muscle protein synthesis. They help with skin health, joint health, really everything. It's just basically an essential nutrient. You can't go too long without them. You don't have to have them with every meal, but I want to have some with this. Otherwise, I will be kind of hungry. I mean, there's basically no carbs in this. I might throw some carrots on the side or something, but anyways, I've been wanting to try this shiitake slice for a while now. It tastes, well, I don't know. It's a soup, so I don't think it's supposed to be like crunchy or anything. It is a little chewy. Let me try the say grace. I know how the say grace is supposed to taste. I don't know exactly how the mushrooms are supposed to taste. It was like 2 years ago that I learned I could whistle. Like, that's about as good as it gets. I hope the mic picked it up. But I was blowing on hot food, and I nearly shit myself because I've tried to whistle all my life. I don't know if it's the buck teeth or what, but I never was able to whistle. So I have to pretend I'm blowing on food or it doesn't work. So this is the only time this happens. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. If you're trying to keep your macros low, this is a good way to do it. Because then you got all the broth too, and that's filling. Like, these are just going to fill up your stomach. Salt. I like salt. People think salt leads to hypertension, but really just being fat and not working out, not drinking enough water. And for about 1% of the population, a little bit of genetics can play into that. But for the most part, people benefit from using salt, especially if they work outside, especially if they work out. If you're trying to work out, please don't be one of those people who's like, I can't add salt. Like, watch. Just take some salt. Just add some salt. All right, it's actually even better with more salt. So, okay. Basically, I'm an expert chef. Oh, we forgot to plug my code. Use code BodybuildingVegan the next time you order Say Grace. Make sure that you learned about it while watching, about my family history and about how I was a horrible teenager. And you too can also eat vegan food and get jacked and have your healthy source of fats on the side. I think it's done. I think I can put it in the bowl. All right, well, if you're still watching, you are the best, amazing people in the world. Alrighty, almost forgot. We actually need to weigh this out so we can put it in there. So, what I recommend doing, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the food scale with the bowl on there because I don't want to put this super hot thing on the plastic. It might burn, he says, while there's plastic sitting inside it. So you'll set your whole contraption here carefully. Don't let it fall. This looks real safe. This is stuff my mom would never let me do at home. 2750 is the magic number here. So what we have to remember is we have our soup and our pan equaling 2750. You're like, well, how do I make 2 equal size servings out of that? Well, remember that pan, that number I told you to remember. Who remembers at home? Who remembers? I remember. 2750 minus 900 gives us 1850 for the grams of all this soup concoction here. So then we just divide that by 2. It's 925. I know I need to put 925 of this into here, and then into here, and then out of there, out somewhere else. In that order, I hope. If you are tracking your macros and you're going to eat half of this today and half tomorrow, you don't have to do this. If you're making it for like your significant other, or if you're meal prepping in a larger amount, it's probably more important to weigh things. But if I'm eating half of this today and half tomorrow, it doesn't really matter if I get a little bit of extra food today and a little bit less tomorrow, or vice versa. But I like to do this just because I'm anal. You don't have to be as anal as me. You can be as anal as you want. And that's what you should put, I don't know, I was going to say on your report card or something, but I was pretty anal at school too. I was a pretty smart kid. It's taken me very far in life. I now make videos about making soup and talk lots of stuff. See y'all next time.